Welcome to Nashville Superspeedway, qualifying just underway for the Fort Worth Screen Pinning Xfinity Series presented by Mr. Ghostman Travis Martin. As you see the Ghostman there in a 63 Mustang. Cars taken to the track to start their warm-up lap. Entirely sure. I think that's Zach Cooper in the 99 showing as a 7 car. We'll have to get that fixed next week. Very confusing since we have a 7 car. Which is Travis Scorbetta. How we doing, Red Cell? Travis Martin heads down into 1 and 2 in his qualifying attempts. Down the backstretch here at Nashville Superspeedway and into turn 3. Right on board with the Ghostman as he comes off turn 4. And this front stretch crosses start finish. Travis will put up the first lap, a 30.87. So far, nobody has beaten it. See if Martin's able to pick up on lap number 2. A little bit, goes to 30.81. A bit better speed there out of the 63. Let's see if the 26 can pick up. Slower for Ethan Evers on lap 2. Lucas Huisman goes to P3 on his second lap. Franklin 4th, Scorbetta 5th. Trenton Sneed coming to the line. 30.96, that might move him up a spot. Goes to 5th. Jeff Price on his second lap. Looks like Price got out of sorts on lap 2. He's going to pull the plug on it. Ian Montrose on lap 2, currently 12th with a 31.24. See if he can pick up. It's Hayden Lowles on his first timed lap, as is Mike Edwards. Watch Montrose come to the line. Quentin Newton goes P9. Montrose moves up to a 31.06. Should take him all the way to 8th. Kermit Henney in the 18 sits in P9. Goes Hayden to the line on his first lap. 30.75, that will put him on pole. Mike Edwards on lap number 2. First lap put him 11th quick. See if he can pick up and move up the leaderboard. It's one of the top 5 cars in practice. Mike Chris goes to 10th. 30.07. 31.07. Edwards gets down into the 30s, so 30.98 will move him to 8th. It's Mike Chris, the 88 Dale Jr. Mustang. Makes people cringe. I love it. Hello, Byra. Oh, Mike Chris is going to go around. 88 spins it out of turn number 4. So his first lap will be his one of record. He will start 11th. Swicegood the 24, Labor 12 Chevy. One car you cannot miss on track. Place his first lap, a 31.23. Lap 2 is going to be 31.05. Move him up a bit. Goes up to 10th. Dalton Hayes sits on pit road. His first lap did not count. Andrew Beach looks like he is rolling. Just for the 12 seconds that we can show his car on TV. And that is going to do it for qualifying. 17 cars put in a time. 10 cars do not.
Okie dokie, guys. Welcome to Nashville Super Speedway. Gonna be a good one tonight. We got 140 laps. Halfway points are gonna be given out at the end of lap 70. Y'all got 5 sets total of tires. Let's see, what else? Start is on green. All restarts thereafter are gonna be on the leader, and the leader has lane choice. We don't have race control, so all cautions are going to be iRacing cautions. And yeah, if you have any other questions, let me know. Get out there, have fun.
Yeah.
Whoop-dee-doo. Run
Daniel.
your face.
That's such a Daniel reaction. Whoop-dee-doo. All right. I love the back of these pit boxes. Chat, it's wonderful. It's perfect. It's amazing. It's the best. The best there ever is. The best there ever was. The best there ever will be. Let's go run through our starting lineup presented by Labor 12. Our friends at Labor 12 providing this following intro music for our awesome driver lineup. Here we go with Hayden Lowell on pole in the Ford Mustang presented by Napa.
I'm not fighting to get to my keyboard and type that out.
Let me mute him. And then Travis Martin starts second in the Mr. Ghostman Ford Mustang number 63. Ethan Evers starts third in the CaveRP.com Toyota. Lucas Hoisman of the Labor 12 Toyota starts in fourth. Dustin Franklin, the Station Chevy, starts fifth. Trenton Steed, Trans Technology Chevy, starts in sixth. Travis Skermetta, the Spit and Venom Labor 12 Toyota, starts in seventh. Mike Edwards, Autism Awareness Footwear Screen Printing Toyota, starts in eighth. Jeff Price starts ninth in the Back Channel Productions Chevrolet. Zach Swicegood in the Labor 12 Chevy starts 10th. Ian Montrose starts 11th in the John Deere Ford Mustang. Mike Chris, the Labor 12 Mustang, starts in 12th. Kermit Henny, newcomer to the series, the 18, has his own race team on there. KHRT, that is a Chevrolet, starts 13th. Welcome on board, welcome to the community. We have Quinn Newton in the 5. Mountain Dew Pitch Black Chevy starts 14th. Matt Benke City Financial Chevy 15th. Jeremy Scherer, the Chevy Accessories Chevy, starts in 16th. Zach Cooper, another newcomer in the Raptor machine. He is number 99, shows 7 on the car, but he is 99. Starts 17th. Dalton Hayes starting 19th in the Chevy. A little redundant. Harry Goodell in the Team Kamikaze Toyota starts 20th. Nick Cameron 21st in the National Fall of Firefighter Foundation Chevy. Andrew Beach, the Side Pipe Chevy, starts 22nd. Dave Hoyce with the Labor 12 Bass Pro Lookalike starts in 23rd. Daniel Wallen, Labor 12 Chevy, 24th. J.R. Deal, the Little Caesars Toyota, 25th. Jake Lawrence, the X-Side Toyota, starts in 26th. And Scott Elston tracks that very cool looking black and green scheme starting 27th. 27 cars registered for this one. Blake Giglio did not get out on track, so it looks like we have 26 starting the race. Pace car heads on in. We're about to get this one underway. Hayden has to wait for the green flag before he can take off. Green flag in the air. We are underway from Nashville, 140 laps. Hayden jumps out to the lead. Ethan Evers trying to get second away from Mr. Ghostman. Lucas Hoisman following in his Toyota tire tracks. Ghostman hanging tough on that outside line. We're going to go 3 wide. Lucas Hoisman all the way to the bottom. Ethan Evers in the middle. Travis Martin up high. Hoisman trying to get a 2-for-1 here. Evers driving the middle line. Martin up the hill. Neither one of those knew that Hoisman had backed out. Hoisman was going to get the Ghostman here. Evers clears into second. Lucas Hoisman into third. Hayden Lowell's driven away from this battle. You see Trenton Steed up high a little further back. Trenton's battling Travis Skermetta. Hoisman was trying to set up Ethan Evers here for second. Jeff Price, Trenton Steed. Mike Edwards. Skermetta's gotten through, as has Price. Now Edwards is going to the inside of Trenton Steed as Trenton can't get down from the top side. It's got a clearing after Edwards if he wants to give up a little bit of time and drop down. Up ahead, Travis Martin, Ethan Evers battle for third. Hoisman's gotten around Evers. There's Dustin Franklin lurking in fifth. Martin's going to take the spot. See if Franklin can keep Evers off the bottom. He cannot. Evers will hold on to 4th. Then comes Skermetta and Price. This is a battle for 6th. A little further back, you see Swicegood and Montrose battle for 11th. Looks like Swicegood's gotten that away. Now Montrose has Quinn Newton to his inside. Skermetta up the hill. It's going to allow Jeff Price to get his 19 up into the 6th position. Now Mike Edwards, a couple Toyotas side by side doing a battle. Trenton Sneed looking on from the 9th spot. Edwards going to get ahead of Skermetta. Things settle in there. There's Mike Chris, Swicegood, Quinn Newton, Jeremy Scherer. Then you have Montrose up the hill, Harry Grindell to his inside. Seemingly single file most of the way through the field now. Montrose, Hayes, Henney, Benke, Beach. There's Deal, Cooper, Llewellyn, Lawrence, Hoytsman, Elston, and Hammer. 26 cars, all still on the lead lap. Lucas Hoyts was running down Hayden Lull up front. Coming to complete lap 7. Montrose. Ian losing a couple spots there to Hayes and Henney. Daniel Llewellyn in the 7, which is the 99 of Cooper. Behind them you see Hoytsman Elston battle for 24th. Dustin Franklin's closing in on Ethan Evers. It's a battle for 4th. Franklin going to wrap the bottom and get by the 26. Mike Edwards lines up to try and get by his teammate. As behind them you have Jeff Price, Travis Skermetta. Battle for 7th. Trenton Sneed right there with the 88 of Mike Christopher. Behind Mike Chris you see Swicegood, Quinn Newton, a bunch of the EXT cars right there. Big field of cars tonight, 26 cars. Love to see it. Very healthy field. Hayden Lull continues to lead over Lucas Hoytsma. Those two have a second over Travis Martin. Martin about a second over Franklin. Then you have Evers and Edwards. And then this wad of cars all lined up nose to tail. 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. And I think that was the end of that group. They're all bunched together. Harry Grindell inside of the 5 of Quinn Newton. That's for 12th. Jeremy Scherer tucked right in there, trying to keep Quinn Newton off the bottom if he can. Grindell gets clear, takes over 12th. Now Scherer looking for 13th. Oh, Skermetta the 7 just smacked the fence. Trenton Sneed gets to his inside, should be able to clear down into 1 and take away the 8th position. Mike Chris going to try to follow through for 9th. And able to do so. Skermetta trying to fight on the outside, but I don't think he's got enough up there. He'll tuck in line. Looks like Quinn Newton, Jeremy Scherer battle. Lucas is closing in on the leader again. Right on the back bumper of Hoytsma. On the back bumper of Hoytsma. He is Hoytsma. Right on the back bumper of Hayden. Lucas just stalking the leader. Right on board for a lap or two. There's a start-finish at Nashville Superspeedway. Concrete track as you see. Down into turn number 1. Down the backstretch. Into 3. Placed on a little bit higher entry. Both ends of the track. It's like Lowell was able to pull out a couple of hundredths there on him. We're trying to keep the pressure on, see if Lowell will make a mistake. Back to our TV views. If it'll let me. There you go. Hayden leading. Hoytsma in second. Travis Martin kind of on an island in third now. Dustin Franklin, Mike Edwards fourth and fifth. Put a little bit of gap on Ethan Evers in sixth. Then you have Trenton Sneed, Jeff Price, Mike Chris, Harry Grindell. Grindell looking to the inside of Mike Chris here. Mike Edwards also trying to make a move on Franklin. That's for fourth. Got the autism awareness colors on that 14. Edwards clears for the spot. Edwards to fourth. Franklin down to fifth. Mike Chris still has Harry Grindell right on his back bumper. Harry's trying to set him up for a move here. Looking inside, but the 88's looking inside the 19 of Price. Harry thought better of the 3-wide move there. As Mike Chris gets by Jeff Price. Now Harry will sweep by as well, coming off of turn 4. Skermetta going to work on Price, and just like that, Price falls right out of the top 10. Grindell still trying to get by this 88. Right on board with the 718 Kamikaze Toyota here. Oh, Mike Chris glanced it off the wall there on corner exit of 4. Harry Grindell's can go all the way to the apron to try and get his nose inside, keep the 88 off the bottom. Mike Chris going to send it in a little too deep there. Trying to protect. He's going to lose the spot. Harry Grindell moves up to 8th, finally getting by that 88. He worked on him for quite a few laps there. Now Skermetta moves in to square off against Mike Chris. Swicegood's 11th, Jeff Price 12th, Dalton Hayes battling with the 5 of Quinn Newton. Dalton wraps the bottom, moves ahead of Newton. Newton looking at the crossover to see if it's possible. It's got to run at it. I think he'll get off the bottom. See if Hayes, he drives it in deep in the corner and then drives down the hill. Shuts the door on Quinn Newton. He'll hang on to 13th for now. Newcomer Kermit Henney in 15th. Black and green machine. Then you have Andrew Beach, side pipe Chevy. Jeremy Scher 17th. Matt Benke. And a whole host of cars. J.R. Deal leads the 99 of Cooper and the 68 of Jake Lawrence. One of Montrose also in this mix. Montrose, of course, the Daytona winner. Start the season, so he is in the playoffs. You have Dave Hoytsman at 79. Had a good run going last night and had an issue at Milwaukee. Ended up tagging the pit wall. Scott Elston's 24th. 2 cars have retired already. Daniel Llewellyn, the 23, will get credit for 25th tonight, and the 11 of Nick Hammer will get credit for 26th. Back up front, Hayden still leads by a full second now over Lucas Hoisman. Travis Martin sits in 3rd. 8/10 back from Hoytsman. And a big gap back to Edwards. Edwards has Franklin, Evers, Sneed, and Grindell within close proximity as Trenton Sneed tries to take away 6th position and does. Harry Grindell trying to follow him through for 7th. Long run speed not there on the 26 tonight. So he falls back into 8th. Trenton and Harry continue their march towards the front, now 6th and 7th. Speaking of marches, let's look at our biggest movers. Harry Grindell is up 12 from the start of the race. Nice job there for the 70s team. Now 13. Dalton Hayes up 7. Ian Montrose, he's going the wrong direction. Put down a hot lap, but he has fallen all the way down to 21st. Let's look at our race analysis while we're closing in on the first round of pit stops. 140 lap race. Track temp right at 100 degrees, so a little bit cooler than it was in practice. The stage points go out at halfway, which is the end of lap 70. Fuel window is about 35 to 40 laps. So I have to pit once before the halfway break. And I say break, it's really just a rolling stage. No caution given. You got 4 sets of tires in the pits, and if it goes green, they'll only have to stop 3 times, so that's plenty of time. Hayden's out by almost a second and a half now. Hoytsman is starting to fall back to the clutches of Travis Martin. Ghostman reeling in multiple-time SRL champion Lucas Hoytsman. Hoytsman brushes the fence there coming off 4. Oh, it's going to get tight there. Hoytsman had to lift for getting tight, almost hit the wall. Ghostman had a really good run going at him. I think Hoytsman's going to give him the bottom here. We'll let Travie Trav go on through. Travis Martin takes over 2nd. Hoytsman falls to 3rd. Martin now 2.1 seconds back of Hayden. We'll see if he can cut into that deficit at all. See Mike Edwards, Harry Grindell, Dustin Franklin, Trenton Sneed. The Ghostman is very good at saving tires. The problem is Hayden is also very good at saving tires. So Edwards 4th has Grindell hot on his heels, as Grindell has been on the march since we started the race. Trenton Sneed trying to work on Dustin Franklin for 6th. Two different battles to watch here. Grindell's going to look inside Edwards. I think Edwards kind of knows he's coming. Grindel has plenty of room down there on the bottom. Taking Grindel a while to get by Edwards here. I think Mikey's like giving him plenty of room, but just not like giving him the spot, and it's causing all kinds of side-by-side racing for both of them. I think it's slowing them both down a bit. As Edwards gets really tight there, all four. He has to get out of the throttle. Might get Franklin a run at him. Trenton's finally got Franklin up off the bottom. It's the name of the game, trying to pass at Nashville Superspeedway, much like Martinsville. Get the driver up off the bottom, and you'll have a shot at getting by. That gets Trenton around the 74. Franklin is our first caution waves. Dave Hoytsman's gone around in the 79. First caution on lap 35, right at the beginning of their pit window. So I'm sure we'll see everyone down for 4 tires and fuel. It's like the 68 Jake Lawrence, 79 of Dave. Looks like Lawrence went up the hill, got into the 79, turned him around. Dave does a full 360. Car in good shape. He drives on away. You saw the 68 slide up across the seam and into the door of the 79. Tires must have been wearing for Lawrence, unable to keep it down on the bottom. Here come the race leaders to pit road. I'm sure we're going to see every lead lap car, which at the moment is every car still running. So 24 cars are probably about to be on pit road together. Should be entertaining. Quite the poop show. Eden hits his box as the pole sitter, gets that number 1 pit stall. Travis Martin, Ethan Evers, Lucas Hoytsma all right there. We'll watch him drop the jacks and get down off pit road. Also see if anyone tries any different strategy, but I doubt it. It's like 4 tires and fuel for everybody. All 14-second stops all the way down pit road. Only cars still sitting on pit road are the one of Montrose. That's not going to show it very good. There he is. The one of Montrose got some right side damage he's repairing. Benke was working on some repairs. Looks like Jeremy Scherer has some right side damage, and Dave Hoytsman, of course, in that wreck just now. Staying to make sure he gets all his optional damage fixed up. Now Scherer is down and away. You see the right side damage on his car right in front of the 15. So all 24 cars on and off pit road that are on the lead lap. The only cars out of the race, Daniel Llewellyn and Nick Hammer. But up here, they were already 1 to green. That was fast. So Mustangs on the front row as Hayden's chosen the bottom. Hayden all down low, Travis Martin up top for row 1. Row 2 is Hoytsman, Grindel. Row 3, Edwards and Sneed. Row 4 is Franklin and Christopher. And row 5, Swicegood and Evers. It's going well, William. You went from up 3 to up 4. It's going well. High-scoring hockey game, though. Pace car is going to get on out the way. We're going to get back to racing. Coming to start lap 39 as Harry Grindel gives us a blink. Grindel's blinking out again. We don't know where he is. He's up against the wall. Hopefully everyone makes it through there. Trying to find Grindel. His car has disappeared. There he is. Grindel just went from up near the front to 18th. He's going to have to fight his way back through again. Hayden jumping out to a 3/10 lead already. Then a Martin and Hoytsma, Mike Edwards, Franklin and Sneed. Battle is one between Price and the 7 of Skrmeta as they're almost going to split this 47 of Hayes. Wow, William, that's a lot of power play wheels. Skrmeta's still hanging on the outside of Price there. Price nearly had him clear on corner exit. So frustrating as a driver when you have him just about cleared, but not quite. Franklin and Edwards battles. Franklin gets by Edwards. Trenton Sneed trying to follow through. Not quite close enough. Price and Skrmeta still battling. Behind them, you see the 71 and 5. That is Quinn Newton in the 5. 71 is Andrew Beach. Skrmeta up the hill enough that the 19, Jeff Price, able to take the position away. 40 down, 100 to go here. Lowell continues to lead. We'll take you through the field. Travis Martin in P2. Lucas Hoisman in 3rd. Dustin Franklin rides 4th. Mike Edwards just ahead of Trenton Sneed, 5th and 6th. Mike Chris, Ethan Evers. Evers tries to look inside of that Mustang. You have Swicegood and Hayes. Hayes is going to look inside Swice. Hayes is going to drive it on in there. Dalton Hayes moving up into the 9th spot. Zach Swicegood still in the top 10. Jeff Price 11th. Travis Skrmeta 12th. Quinn Newton 13th. Andrew Beach 14th. Current Henny 15th. J.R. Deal and Harry Grindell battle side by side. Grindell is trying to battle back after that network issue. Grindell up now to 16th. J.R. Deal 17th. Then there's Zach Cooper in 18th. Jake Lawrence 19th. Ian Montrose 20th. Scott Elson 21st. Jeremy Scherer 22nd. Matt Benke 23rd. And Dave Hoytsma 24th. See if Dave can rebound after that spin. Get back up in the top 20. Hayden has a half second over the Ghostman. Ghostman has nearly a full second on Hoytsma. Dustin Franklin 4th and Mike Edwards 5th. Watch Mike Chris and Ethan Evers, one of the closest battles on the track right now. It's this one and then this one. Quinn Newton ahead of Andrew Beach, the 18, the 70, all bunched up there together. Behind them you see J.R. Deal, 99 of Cooper battling. Grindell trying to get by Henny here. That's for 15th. He's got the nose of that Toyota just in there enough. Very close to door-to-door contact there on corner exit. I think the 70 of Grindell had to lift a bit to not get into the door harder. It's just very difficult to pass. Now Grindell finally gets through there. Now J.R. Deal starts to work over the 18. And then you see the 7 and 68 doing battle. That is for the 18th spot. Zach Cooper, Jake Lawrence. Not missing anything up front. Still a 5-second gap. Hayden to Martin, and then a 1.5 seconds Martin to Hoytsma. The top two kind of checked out on the field. Dustin Franklin, Mike Edwards, Trenton Sneed. All very close quarters here. Weissman's faded back to this group. He had about a half second over him. Weissman maybe popped the wall. See any obvious damage. Edwards looks like he's going to try to cut underneath the 74. Franklin here on corner exit. I don't think he's quite there. Franklin may just give him enough space anyway. Franklin gets past as Edwards drops him down to 5th. Trenton rides 6th. Mike Chris is 7th. Dalton Hayes, Ethan Evers side by side as Dalton gets by for the 8th spot. And Swice good right there in 10th. Grindell's made his way up to 14th. A lot of cars running in close quarters within 2/10. It's good to have. This one not within close distance of anybody. 6/10 on Martin. 1.6 over Weitzman. Edwards, Franklin, Sneed, Christopher, Hayes, Evers, Schweiss grade your top 10. Skirmetta and Price battle for 11th. Price going to take it away, and here comes Grindell on his rebound. Was 18th, now he's 13th. Whoa, very close there between Price and Skirmetta. Skirmetta had a good run coming off the corner. Price had to lift coming off the wall, not to hit the wall. Those two nearly made contact, but able to avoid each other. In the process, lets Harry Grindell close right up on the back of Skirmetta. Quinn Newton 14th, Andrew Beach is 15th. There's Kermit Hennies in 16th now, J.R. Deal 17th. And Montrose 18th, Jake Lawrence 19th, Cooper in 20th, Elston 21st, Scherer 22nd. Dave Hoisman was able to get by Matt Benke. Benke now in 24th. See him up high on the racetrack there. Skirmetta and Price. Skirmetta finally gets by. Now the inside's been opened up. 70 of Grandell is going to try to take advantage, and Quinn Newton will try to follow through as we're 16 laps away from our halfway point where we give out points for the top 10. Just 16 laps away from that. Hayden continues to lead. Hoytsma kind of all by himself. Then you have 74 and 81 battle for 5th and 6th. And Ethan Evers has quite a few cars right behind him. 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. And a little bit of a gap to Newton. So Newton has Jeff Price hot on his heels. Hayden leads. Still 6/10 the gap. There's Hoytsman. There's Edwards. If the field is caught with 35, Benke will be the first car to be a lap down the night, other than the two that have retired. Edwards runs 4th. Franklin 5th. Has Trenton Sneed trying to get that top 5 spot from him. Three laps into this run. We got about another 12 to 17 for the fuel window. Obviously, no one in the top 10 is going to want to pit before the stage halfway point. Grandel looks inside of Swicegood. That's for 8th. Grandel continues his recovery from 18th on the restart. He is now in 8th. So far tonight, the 70's definitely passed the most cars. Started in the back, worked his way up into the top part of the field, then had a issue with the network. Sent him back again. .35's got some right side damage to it. Obviously letting the field go by on the low side. You see that tail light separated from the trunk a little bit. Aero is important here at Nashville. Quinn Newton starting to close in on Skrmetta. That will be a battle for a spot in the top 10 and battle for a stage point, halfway point, I should say. Looking for battles in the fields, not a lot going on. Kermit Henny and Andrew Beach made some contact, but both of them continue on. This is where the tightest battling is going on, although Hayden Lowell suddenly has some company. Travis Martin is there. If Hayden's just burned up his stuff, Travis Martin is coming for a visit. Finally have something going on up front. Hayden Lowell has the Ghost Man in tow now. Right on board with second place Travis Martin. Closing in on halfway, 5 laps away. Travis is stalking the back of Hayden Lowell here. Travis looking for a way by Hayden, trying to get those 10 stage points as opposed to 9 he would get for second. Giving Hayden all he wants and more as Hayden goes up the hill. Travis not quite able to get his nose alongside there. Hayden definitely opened the door there, though. Complete lap 68, start lap 69. 2 to go till we give out those all-important halfway points. Martin faded back a little bit there. See if we have any other battles in the top 10. No, we really don't. Swicegood is closing in on Newton here. Skermetta sits there as well. And Newton's made his way into the top 10. Skermetta's fallen out. Skermetta going to work over Swicegood, try to get that last spot. So we start lap 70. Points will go out at the end of this lap. Hayden and Martin go into 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, and they'll see the bonus points start handing out. 10 points to Hayden, 9 for Travis, 8 for Lucas. Edwards picks up 7, 6 for Trenton, 5 Harry, Dustin gets 4, Ethan 3, Quentin Newton 2, and Swicegood gets the final point. Skermetta is not able to get around them before the end of the stage, and the caution waves. Caution is out. Looks like Dave Huisma again, this time missing the hood. What happened to Daddy Dave? It's like the 7 of Cooper bounces off the fence. Dave just an innocent bystander in that one. Unfortunately went around after Cooper couldn't control his car off the wall. Zach Cooper getting into Dave Huisma. That's the second time Dave just wrong place. Either incident has been Dave's fault, but he's been the worst end of the stick on both of them. Tough night for the luck category for Dave. Well, just past halfway, right at 35, we get another caution. And we'll see the entire field again. Every car except for Christopher, Benke, and Cher is on the lead lap. I believe Cher and Christopher were making green flag stops right as that caution came out. So I'm sure they'll stay out, take wave around here. You see everybody coming in. See who comes down, who stays out. Looks like the entire field is on pit road, except for the lap machines of Benke, Christopher, and Cher. Hayden down and away. Looks like Lucas got second away from Travis Martin. Oh my gosh, Travis Skermetta wrecks on pit road. What happened there? I'm looking at timing and scoring. Next thing I know, the 7's spun out in pit road. See if we can see what happens. It's like he throttled it up and it just went around on him. Very strange. Very strange indeed. Skermetta getting the worst end of that one. So now we have these cars that are taking the wave around. The 88 and the 15. Benke did come down pit road. So Benke won't be eligible for the wave around because he needed to pit, but we'll see a wave around for Mike Chris and Jeremy Scher. Actually, I think Matt Benke gets the lucky dog. So he will be back on a lead lap based on that, and then Mike, Chris, and Jeremy Scher will get the waiver rounds by staying out and not pitting as they had just come off pit road 2 laps ago. Green flags stops were just underway. Let's see what the drivers are saying.
Press button.
Twin.
Well, I just sucked them.
I can save tires like nobody else. Damn, I have no speed.
That is how you save time, if you go slow.
All right, Quinn.
We need to add 10 more degrees to this thing here.
That would be pretty awesome.
Bryce, you repair damage there?
Let's get a chat in with Hayden. Hayden, DG, you got a copy?
They were basketball shorts.
No, they weren't.
Hi, Swiss.
Hi.
What's on?
Well, let's see. We're getting ready for a restart here. You get the wave around cars out your face and line up behind the face car. How are we feeling about the races we just passed halfway?
Feel good. Glad that we got the stage win in this Napa Ford Mustang. But Travis is starting to worry me. He's doing better than me on a long run, and his tires were better than me there. And if I mess up, he's going to be right there. And I think we'll be even enough that I'll need a mistake from him to get back by him. So it's gonna be a challenge. It's not gonna be easy by any means, but hopefully you can park this Madigan Motorsports car in victory lane for a 5th time this season.
10-4. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Swiss.
Hayden in the 67 leading. Giving us a quick word there. Haven't had enough cautions tonight to get too many chats with the drivers, so we figured we'd jump in there and get one. Pace car heads to pit road. Hayden gets us going once again. It's a nice jump over Lucas Huisma. Travis Martin trying to get his nose alongside Huisma, unable to get there. We'll see if he charges it in into 1. Harry Grandel, a little bit of a bobble there. Harry's getting very loose in the 70. Hangs onto it, but he's going to lose some momentum on the inside. Trenton Sneed's going to power by outside. Harry falls to 7th, and Harry just keeps having issues on these starts. He didn't fall back all the way to 18th, though, so maybe he'll have some momentum to go fight with the leaders here in maybe 20 laps time. So Hayden's out front by 3/10 already over Lucas Huisma. Travis Martin settles in 3rd. Travis has had very good long run speed, so towards the end of these runs, Travis has been there. And you have Edwards, Evers, Sneed, Grindel side by side with Franklin. That's the battle for 7th. It's a race wheel to wheel, down into turn 1. Franklin gets his elbows out a little bit. Crowds the 70, but Grindel not backing down. Stays right on the 74's door. Oh, contact! Grindel's going to save that, but he's going to lose so much momentum. Saw the netcode just throw the 70 sideways. Now he's fighting Quinn Newton. Go work through the field once again. Looks like Huisman's trying to keep up with Hayden, but I think he tried that last run also and it ended up burning his stuff up a bit. We'll see if he has any better strategy this time. It's Hayden, Lucas, Travis, top 3. Mike Edwards, Ethan Evers, Trenton Sneed, Dustin Franklin, Harry Grindell, Quinn Newton, Jeff Price, with Dalton Hayes trying to take that spot away for 10th. I think Hayes will charge it into 1 and take the spot. Here comes the 18 of Kermit Henney. Looked inside the 19 briefly, not able to get alongside. Henney in 12th right now. Zach Swicegood 13th. Ian Montrose 14th. Andrew Beach 15th. Travis Scrimmetta, he'd been up in the top 10 most of the race. He's back in 16th now. Looks like he came back down and topped off the tank on the last caution. That or took a fast repair. Jake Lawrence 17th. Zach Cooper 18th. Matt Benke 19th. Scott Elson's 20th. Mike Chris 21st. Jeremy Scherer 22nd. J.R. Deals 23rd as Dave Hoytsman retired the car. He is going to finish 24th tonight, so we still have 23 cars. And at this point, all of them are back on the lead lap. Hoytsma starting to put on a show here with Hayden low. Gets Hayden up off the bottom. Looks like maybe Lucas is tired of watching Hayden lead all the laps. Lucas is putting on a show here in the 97 Labor 12 Toyota. He has to check up his run in the center of the corner. Can he get to the outside of Hayden? That would be interesting. Now he's going to dive to the bottom. Get Hayden up off the bottom. Hayden's going to pinch down like he normally does. Hoytsma trying to stay alongside. This is allowing Travis Martin to creep back into the picture. So Hoytsma keeps Hayden off the bottom. Oh, they're so close there. That reminded me of Wes Parker and Hayden Law, how they always pinch and don't give an inch to one another and end up wrecking. Hoytsma right on the back bumper of that 67 now. Travis Martin back there too. They're all tucked in nose to tail, 1, 2, and 3. Hoytsma now going to look to the top on Hayden. See if he stays up there or tries a crossover here. Mr. Ghostman's going to look inside of him. All of a sudden, a race is broken out here. Oh, there is contact. Hayden gets sideways. Lucas checks up. Ghostman has to check up. That'll allow Edwards to close in. Edwards goes to the bottom. Gets by 2 of them, as they about all wrecked there. Edwards suddenly finds himself in 2nd. Ethan Evers in 3rd.
By the way.
See what the drivers are saying about that, because that was spicy. It's all quiet. A little surprising. This is as much trouble as we've seen Hayden have with the field so far today. Hoytsma giving him a run for sure.
Back, Quinn.
Now I think Hayden's comfortable ahead of Edwards. Travis Martin's trying to get by the 26. Ethan Evers, it's a battle for 3rd. The 63 and 97 are going to get hung up in these 2 Toyotas. They have to work their way back towards the front again. Edwards trying to keep Hayden honest. Both Hoytsma and Ghostman have dispatched of Ethan Evers. Evers down to 5th now. Martin back up to 3rd. Hoytsma back up to 4th. Grindell is now trying to get by Ethan Evers. Trenton Sneed and Dustin Franklin are right there to try and take advantage of the 26 being pushed up. Trenton will get by. That'll be for the 6th spot. Now Dustin Franklin right there in 74 car trying to take 7th. Mike Edwards starting to fall back from Hayden. So Hayden's starting to settle into his long run pace. Franklin makes the pass, moves up to 7th. Hayden now has 3/10 over Edwards. Martin and Hoytsma closing back in. Martin smacks the wall. The 63 Mustang just came off of turn 4 and clobbered the wall there. Definitely see a wrinkle on that right front fender. Uncharacteristic mistake from the Ghost Man. Lucas Hoytsma gets to his inside. Nothing said on the radio at all. Hoytsma clears Ghost Man. Now Harry Grindell tries to take over 4th. Trenton Sneed.
Sorry, Scott.
Fan favorite is there. Sorry, Scott.
That's all right.
That was back in 19th. So we watched a battle between Ghost Man and Harry Grindell. Trenton Sneed trying to take advantage. Martin getting up off the bottom. Martin's car, I'm sure, not handling the same as it was. All that right side damage. He'll be disappointed with himself, kicking himself after that one. Definitely had a car worth contending here. Grindell is 4th. Now Ghostman battles Trenton Sneed for 5th. Trenton trying to move that Treon Technologies car up into the top 5. Gets up the hill a bit. Broke his momentum. Martin's going to have a run back to the outside, but I think Trenton will keep the nose in. Not quite completed the pass yet. Ghostman could squeeze in here if he wanted to, but he's still trying to fight on the outside, and I think Dustin Franklin's going to make him pay for that. Gets alongside as, oh no, Trenton Sneed disappeared for a moment there. Dustin Franklin gets to the inside of Travis Martin. Martin probably should have backed off a bit and gotten down to the bottom. Maybe he thinks that damage is too much and it doesn't matter. Franklin will take over the 6th position. Now Ethan Evers goes to the inside of Martin. Evers going to try to get inside Franklin. Franklin pinching the car down. He stays right in front of Ethan Evers. Martin tucks in behind. I'm sure he'll try to keep that right side out of the air as much as possible. Use that 26 to do so. Hayden's gap now 6/10. I don't
just want to lead a lap.
know what that means. Harry Grindell's caught up to Lucas Hoytsma here. If Grindell ever got the track position, I think he'd have a good battle up there. 70 has definitely passed more cars than anyone tonight. Had to come through the field twice. And fell back to 7th here on the this start. They'll just riding behind Hoytsman at this point. Maybe saving his stuff for a little bit later run. Thinking Hoytsman has enough pace. Dalton Hayes has spun the 47 into the grass. This is well off the racing surface.
Speed turned around there, Dalton.
Hayes in the
Before I
fence.
kick my chickens, man.
Sends the 47 into the infield.
I could be petty and bring out a caution, but I'm not going to like most people would.
You're a
What?
good man.
Be funny if it still brought out the caution.
The other, like, help a Pontiac brother out. Be a caution.
Michael, I'm sorry.
Which Michael? See Mike Chris. Mike Chris goes around. Man. It's 2 spins with no yellows here. And Montrose gets in the back of the 88, turns him sideways. See Montrose back it down to try and not hit him again. Mike Chris pulls it to a stop. Gasses it up. Stops on track. Nobody there. And away goes the 88. There's smoke once again. I don't see who brought that out, but there was smoke once again. It was Hoytsman coming to pit road. That's what we saw. Lucas Hoytsman is pitting. Going to come down and be the first one of fresh tires out of the front group. So Lucas Hoytsman pits out of the top 5. He's going to hope we go green from here. Very well could, since we've had 2 spins that didn't bring out the caution. Hayden, Edwards, stay out. Grindell, Sneed, Franklin. Evers, Martin. Looks like Swicegood's heading to pit road. Brings Quinn Newton with him. 2 more cars hit pit road. I think JR Deal's coming as well. So we get 3 more cars onto pit road. See what Hayden decides to do, knowing Lucas has already come. I think Edwards is coming now. Mike Edwards in 2nd place. 14 hits pit road. That may be very close to a speeding penalty. We'll have to check the time on the pit here. .14's on pit road. It looks like Jake Lawrence has joined him. 68 machine. There's the X-Side Toyota. Hayden stays out once again. Jeremy Scherr's hit pit road.
Go get him, Lulu.
Lucas Hoytsman is very fast. He's 1 full second faster than his average speed right now. Those fresh tires. Hayden, meanwhile, is going 1.1 slower than his
Mr. Price, I'm pitting in.
best lap.
Pitting in.
Matt Benke's coming to pit road.
85 pitting this lap.
Pitting in.
Hayden now 2.3 seconds over Harry Grindell.
Holy You're really fast.
Henny on pit road. Looks like Cooper's in as well. Scott Elston's on pit road. So 3 cars here on lap 107. Hayden behind Mike Christopher.
Yeah, I'm letting both y'all by. I've already lost almost 2 seconds.
Hoytsman's back up to 12th after the pits. Next car to catch is Mike Chris. Mike Chris is a lap down, but has not been to pit road yet. It's like Harry Grindell, the 70. It's decided it is time. Team Kamikaze Toyota hits pit road. As we said, the car that's passed the most cars tonight. Hayden works on the 15
That's
of Jeremy
totally what I
Scher.
meant to do. Yep.
Scher gasses it up. Scher's been to pit road. Drives around the 15. Trenton Sneed rides in P2 now. Travis Martin P3. So
Oh,
Mike
shit, sorry,
Edwards on fresh tires coming by. Dustin Franklin is there in 4th. That is for position. As Edwards goes by Grindel's. Grindel's coming off pit road. So Heitzman, Edwards, the first two cars that have been to pit road. They are now 11th and 12th.
Okay, sorry, Lucas, go higher, go higher.
Oh man, Trenton just held up
Seven
Lucas.
pitting.
I think Trenton was thinking about pitting, and then it was just a bad time as Heitzman was approaching him.
That's my bad, Lucas. I was not looking in my mirror at all.
Martin's on pit road, Evers and
Go low,
Skrmetta.
Michael, go low.
67 pitting this time. 67 pitting. 67
There is the
pitting.
leader on backstretch. Hayden Lowell.
71 pitting this time. 71 pitting this time.
19 in.
Here comes race leader Hayden to pit road.
One.
Get it
Hitting
woed
the
down. See what Trenton decides to do. He's hitting pit road. Dustin Franklin's coming. Jeff Price is coming. Andrew Beach is heading in. Montrose will be the next one to see if what he does. And that is Mike Chris saying he's pitting, which is the next car. On the lead lap, so everyone's still out there. It's coming to pit road. This will hand the lead over to Lucas Huisma. Unfortunately, Huisma got held up by Trenton Sneed. Or else Huisma's lead would be bigger than it will be. So Huisma comes storming through. Hayden's still in his pit box. Lucas Huisma takes the lead. Mike Edwards goes to second. Hayden Knowles off pit road. He's going to have to pass Edwards and Huisma. Is the other Huisma racing? He did. He started the 26 car field. He crashed twice and he has finished the race in 24th. But yeah, Dave was in the race tonight. Hayden, fortunately for him, has stayed ahead of Harry Grindel. That is important because it's one less car for Hayden to have to pass. This dirty air can be quite the culprit here. Hayden is 4 seconds back of Mike Edwards and Lucas Huisma. He's going to have the fastest car until he gets in dirty air. We'll see how it works out for him. Other battles going on. You see Swicegood not too far away from Newton. Kermit Henney up into the 7th spot. He's under attack from Travis Martin. Ghostman moves through to take over 7th. That's pretty cool. And Lucas is leading, and Daddy Dave was out there. Everyone should be dialed done pitting unless caution comes out and they want to come grab one more set of tires. So everyone should still have a set in the pits. Trenton Sneed finds himself in 9th. So Martin gets by Swicegood. That is for 6th. Martin marching towards the front. He is 11 seconds behind race leader Lucas Huisma. Hayden's made up a full second already. There's Daddy Dave. He can tell you the horrible luck he had tonight. Neither wreck was his fault. He's just in the wrong place. Rough luck night. Edwards in P2, 6/10 back from Lucas.
John was in the second, like a lap and a half course, and then let that happen.
Hayden trying to use the new tires. 25 laps to go. He's 2.5 back from Edwards, 3 back from Huisma. He is running down the top 2. There go Huisma and Edwards into the corner, and a lap machine of Benke. That is the gap Hayden's trying to make up. 24 laps to go. It's plenty of time. Looking at the timing and scoring, he's about half a second faster than them, so definitely has the time to get there. The only thing that could come into play is if the dirty air messes up his car enough. .22 to go across the stripe here. Nashville Superspeedway. Fort Worth Screen Printing Xfinity Series, part of the Sidewinder Racing Leagues. If you want more information, Twitch chat, you can do !leagues, or you can head over to dgsracing.com. If you want to sign up to race with us, you can go on the Big Red Snake there, get to our Discord. Luke better win? It's going to be hard. Hayden's got the tires. He's going to have to do a hell of a job holding them off. Yup, we got the big Sidewinder snake. What's up, Zariah? You have 6 snakes as pets, goodness. Here's the battle for the lead. And if those two get the racing side by side, it's only going to bring Hayden up there that much faster. Hoytsma, the oldest tires in the top 10. 18 laps since he's been to pit road. Mike Edwards, 16 laps, so he has 2 laps fresher tires than the 97. Is the battle for the lead. Edwards is going to look to the inside of Lucas Hoytsma, and that's just going to help Hayden. There is Hayden in the Napa car, coming in a hurry. As the leaders go door to door. Edwards wanting to lead a lap, he said, as he gets to the inside of the 97. He's going to push that car hard to try and get that lap led, and then probably fade as he burns up the tires. That'd be my guess. Hayden loving it, as he has brought that 67 right into the picture. Edwards gets his 14 out front. He's going to get his lap led. He'll be excited about that. And then Hayden already right there in the 67. Probably going to pass them both here. Edwards gets it to the bottom. Hayden gets into him. Lucas retakes the lead.
Coming through for you, bud.
Harry Grindell cutting through as those two lost all their momentum. Harry into second. So Hayden Lowell made contact with Mike Edwards.
It's 2 fingers out the window, usually.
Thank you.
Well, I'll be.
Take another look at that while we got 18 to go.
How do we do 1 finger out the window?
The bird?
Who's the word?
Hayden gets just into him, turns Edwards sideways. Both of those drivers actually do a really good job hanging on to those cars. But unfortunately knocks Edwards down to third and Hayden to fourth. Lucas Hoytsma back out front. Has 1.5 seconds over Harry Grindell. And 2 seconds over Hayden Lowell. Hayden's going to have to regroup and try to run him down again, but now he's got to get by a very angry 14 car. Edwards probably not happy with Hayden's driving style. We have to get a hydrate in here. Appreciate you, Nick. As Hayden moves up to third. The Napa machine tries to close in on Harry Grindell. Grindell does not have the same tire disadvantage that the other 2 drivers do, so Grindell will be much harder for Hayden to get around. That may be just what Lucas needs to try and get away from Hayden Lowell with those fresher tires. 9 lap tire difference there. Only 3 lap difference with Harry and Hayden. That's second and third. Looking back from Harry Grindell's 70 at the 67 of Hayden Lowell. 14 laps to go from Nashville. Things are getting interesting, to say the least. Hayden is there. This time chooses not to get into the back of the car in front of him. So Lucas just ahead of him. Only a half second up now. Lucas gets by the 15 of Cher. The battle for the lead is about to be a 3-car battle. As the 70 has caught Lucas while defending from the 67 behind him. And we have a 3-car battle for the lead with 12 to go at Nashville. The intensity is picking up quickly. Grindel going to look for a way by Hoytsma. Hoytsma's going to take the bottom away. This may give the 67 of Hayden Lowell an opportunity to go to the inside of the 70. Up the track goes the 70 of Grindel. 67 is going to look to go to the bottom of both of them, and I think he's going to make it work. That's all he really needed to get this win, to be honest, is to get the 97 off the bottom. Hoytsma drives it in deep and tries to park it. I don't know if he's going to be able to do so, but that is impressive. Now we're 3 wide for the lead as we come off of turn number 4. Harry Grindel's going to go to the lead. Holy smokes, what a move that was. Harry pushed it to the outside and just blows by them both. That was a fantastic move by Harry Grindel. Grindel out front. Hayden Lowell now in second. Hayden finally only has 1 car to contend with, and he can find this battle a little more predictable. Can Harry Grindel hold off what's been the fastest car of the race? We'll come to the stripe, and we'll see 9 laps remaining. Can Harry hold off that Napa Ford for 9 whole laps? Hayden's going to be pushing hard in that 67. I'm sure Harry will give him the top if he wants it. It's going to protect the bottoms. Hayden sends it in. Oh my gosh, that was close coming off of 4. Harry Grindel holds him off for 1 more lap. We got 8 to go. Man, oh man, that was tight. Maybe Harry will block the bottom a little bit more this time. Hayden gets right up on the back bumper of that Toyota. Grindel is trying to protect the bottom at all costs at this point. Team Kamikaze number 70. Trying to hold off that Madigan Motorsports Napa Ford Mustang.
I understand why you did that, Dustin, but that was scary. I may have shit my hand.
Hayden's all over the back. Down to the apron goes Harry. Does Hayden send it here? I think he does. Pushes Grindel way up the track. See if Harry can have anything on corner exit, but I don't think he does. And Hayden takes over the race lead, and he will protect the bottom at all costs for sure. Harry's going to drive it in there. Gets right up underneath the 67, but not quite close enough to get him loose. Hayden Lowell takes the lead with 5 to go. I think that's going to be all she wrote. The crowd goes mild. Wreck him, Harry. It's 67 wins enough races. Let Harry go get him. They are catching 2 lap cars. Could get interesting. Coming off turn 4, be 3 to go at the stripe. Here situation. Come on, Rodney. It's like Mike Chris and the one of Montrose. Those two had contact earlier in the race. I would not want to be anywhere near those two. Especially if I'm leading the race with 2 to go. I think Harry's just burned up those tires on that Toyota. Hear it screaming all the way through the corners now. They will have to contend with those 2 lap cars, though. 67, Hayden Lowell's going to be getting dirty air off those 2 as they race each other. Not even for position. One's a lap down, one's on the lead lap. White flag. White flag in the air. Final lap from Nashville. The lap traffic is right there. Harry Grindell trying to use that lap traffic to his advantage to get a win here. It's Hayden Lowell riding behind these 2 other Mustangs. Harry's going to send it here. Is he going to get to that back bumper? Not quite enough. Hayden Lowell is going to bring it off of turn number 4 and win here at Nashville Superspeedway. Harry Grindell made him earn it for sure. Brings it home second. Lucas Heusma third. Mike Edwards and Travis Martin picking up top 5s. That was a whale of a battle.
Great race, everybody.
Good waiting, Hayden. What did I just say? Good man.
What did I just say?
Thank you, Lucas. That was fun racing with you and Michael up at the end. Again, Michael Edwards, sorry, just I completely misjudged it. I deserve one back for that.
We get the top 3 to the waiting room,
Good race
please.
at the end there, JR.
Lucas Heusma, Harry Grindell, and Hayden Lowell.
Yeah, it's fun, brother.
Hayden DG, got a copy?
How you
Hello.
doing, Chris?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
I'm glad they finally gave you made you work for it. It was entertaining.
I mean, I made myself work for it, and I kind of gave it up at one point, getting into Michael. That was absolutely entirely my bad. I feel bad for it. I didn't mean to do that. Michael Edwards. Again, apologies to him. But just glad we can get 5 wins on this season. That's absolutely incredible.
You've won half the regular season races. You gonna let anybody else win?
I mean, Wesley has 2 wins. I think there are some other people that have some wins. Ian has a win at Daytona. But I mean, New Atlanta's the championship race, so do the wins really mean much?
That's a good point. I mean, literally anyone can win there. I mean, bear
I
could
mean,
poop in a forest and win there.
Exactly. You know, it's it was of the choices you can make for a championship race, it was one of them. But with 5 wins on the season right now, I think we're proving that no matter what happens, if we can, no matter what happens in the playoffs, that we absolutely would be a deserving champion.
10-4. You got those friends, family, and sponsor shoutouts for us?
I'd like to thank Napa Auto Parts, Madigan Motorsports, Arc Music, and Ford for helping me out as always. You Swiss for doing these amazing broadcasts. Travis for putting on these amazing races. It's not his fault that the setup was god awful tonight, but this is a good track when you get the right setup. And once again, thanks to all those guys down there at whatever they're calling themselves in the Chance 2 Extreme voice channel, letting me share with them. And thanks to all the admins that help SRL run smoothly. And thank you to John. I'm just going to thank everybody. Just thank you to John Garrett for sponsoring the league, and thank you to Spit and Venom for sponsoring the ARCA series that I run, and thank you to McKenna for making dinner and letting me do this.
I was going to ask you if you thanked yourself when you said you thanked all the admins of Sidewinder.
I mean, I've been saying all. I would assume that I'm included in all.
10-4. All right, congrats on the victory tonight here at Nashville, and we will see you in the next one.
Thank you very much.
Hayden Lowell bringing home a victory tonight. We bring in second place. Harry Grindell picking up the P2. Kept Hayden honest there at the end, but just not quite enough to pull off the win. What did you need to maybe hang on and get the victory there, Harry?
About 3 more inches in 3 and 4 is what I needed. I tried to sort of get to his bumper, give him a nudge as he was stuck behind the lap cars, and literally just stalled out, like 2 inches shy. I just couldn't quite get to him. But yeah.
It was entertaining. You definitely sent it there, and I thought you were trying to get to his bumper, but I didn't know if maybe you were, I don't know, just trying to second thoughts and decided not to right at the last second. I didn't know what was going on there. I didn't know you just couldn't get him.
Yeah, not quite. We went to the corner, and obviously the tires were not exactly new, so that's just kind of where where the dive coming into 3 stalled out as we both started to pick up the throttle. It was just a tad bit too shy, but absolutely brilliant race. And considering the difference in tires when the final run started as we came off pit road, I'm surprised I held on that long, really.
10-4. I mean, you only had 3-lap deficit to Hayden, so yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty good battle.
It wasn't too big, but it was at least it looked very pronounced from in the car, because he came off pit road and barely stayed ahead of me, and then he just sort of set sail, and it was just sort of, every lap 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4. He was just counting up. I was like, I'm probably not going to get him, but when he passes the other 2 back to me, I just might. And then they nearly died, and that threw everything up.
Yeah, I got a big monkey wrench thrown in there when the 67 and 14 came into contact. I thought it was about to be either you or Lucas after that happened, and then he was able to rebound and bring it right back up earlier.
Yeah. So his tires did well to survive that as well as he did, and then that put me. I had to bob and weave through him. I'm not sure Hayden saw me coming high because he just kind of kept coming up, so I had to sort of zig and zag between him and
that move you made, taking the top side 3 wide for the lead, was absolutely beautiful, my man.
It was scary. It was scary because I saw Lucas start to lift, and I was already kind of on the top of both of them. So I was like, well, I'm committed. I kind of have to, and just about managed to squeeze through. Yeah, it's a lot of trust in the 2 guys below me is what that was.
I mean, if you just had to watch one part of this race, I would tell people to go watch that move. It was that good. That good. All right, sir. Congrats on that P2 run. Go ahead, hit me with those shout-outs.
Yeah, obviously Team Kamikaze, to Center Toasting Soyo, to Kamikaze Design House and Hubert Mashik Livery Design. For this league, we've got Low Time Motorsports with a low time engine. We say these engines are low time, they're not very powerful, but tonight I felt a lot of power under the hood of this Toyota Supra. So Low Time Motorsports, Chance to Extreme Motorsports, and to Cat Girl Racing is everybody on my car. And then obviously to Travis for putting on this series and hosting, for you for running all of Sidewinder and streaming. And to everybody else out on this racetrack that put on a brilliant race tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we won't tell NASCAR that you're running Pontiac motors in a Toyota. We'll just keep that quiet.
Yeah, they need to know that.
They don't need to know that. Nope. All right, bud. Congrats on the P2. We'll see you in the next one, my friend. See if you can't win Friday night.
Oh, well, we'll try.
Harry Grindell getting the P2 tonight, and now we'll go bring in Lucas Hoitzman, the 97. Lucas, DG, you got a copy?
Hey,
how's it going? Well, since you were, the guy that likes to do the winner first, and you finished on the top 3, we decided to do the winner first.
Okay.
Well, how we doing out there? You gave it quite the effort tonight. You had a lot of friends up there at the front. It wasn't like a one-person kind of battle. You had Travis Martin, yourself, Harry Grindell, Hayden, Michael, all were up there. So very, very competitive front end of the field tonight.
Yeah, it was kind of a backwards race for me. It was a lot of, not trying to win on speed. I was kind of using the bumper a little more than I'm used to. I got into it, I think, about halfway through the race with Hayden, and luckily it didn't screw him up too much, so no harm, no foul. And man, I just could not get a handle of the long run in this car, and that last pit stop, I'm like, screw it, I'm going to short pit it, try to get out front, and maybe hope for a caution halfway through the run. And I thought it happened with Edwards and Hayden, but
yep.
somehow they saved it, and I was sitting there like, dang it, that was my chance right there. I would have taken the lead, I would have had the track position, but no, we got to stay out here and finish third. Terrible,
horrible
finish.
Worst night ever.
That.
God. I think your dad would trade for you. Let me just saying.
Yeah, he had a rough night.
Just 2 wrecks completely not of his own doing. Just happened to be in the wrong spot.
Oh, he was 69 laps down though. Nice.
Perfect. Nice. All right. Well, let's hit me with those friends, family, and sponsor shoutouts.
Yes, sir. Big shout out, Labor 12, M9 Performance. We got those modified setups this week. CTCRN EXT Racing here in the Xfinity Series. We had a rough night, but that's okay. I still got myself podium finish, and just last but not least, shout out to you for doing the broadcasting, and Travis and Hayden and Jake and everybody who puts this series on. It's always a good time. Love it.
10-4. We appreciate you, my friend. Congrats on that P3 finish, and we'll catch you back in the next one.
Thanks, sir. See ya.
Lucas Ois with picking up the third. Let's go roll our results page here. Getting the win, of course, Hayden Law, Harry Gondol, Lucas Hoitzma, your podium finishers, Mike Edwards and Travis Martin, your top 5. The first Chevrolet, Trenton Sneed in 6th. Travis Cremetta, Ethan Evers, Dustin Franklin, and Kermit Henney, newcomer, picks up the top 10 tonight. Page 2, Jeff Price, Quinn Newton, Andrew Beach, Zach Swicegood, Zach Cooper, J.R. Deal, Scott Elston, Ian Montrose, Jeremy Scherer, Matt Benke, your top 20. And the final page, Dalton Hayes, Mike Chris, Jake Lawrence, Dave Hoisman, Daniel Llewellyn, Nick Hammer, and Blake Giglio. That'll do it for Nashville Super Speedway. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I have to say thank you to our partners at Fort Worth Screen Printing, fwscreen.com and fwspdesign.com. The first one if you're looking for custom merchandise, the second one if you're looking for already made merchandise like John Garrett's ARCA stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast tonight. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be back tomorrow night with the Cup Series race. Thank you, and thank you. Love your faces. Have a great night. Bye-bye.